trend that's going.
All right, cool. So did you see this? Did you see this thing in California where this guy got this illegal immigrant shot and killed another woman out there?
I've seen
San
the
Jose,
article.
yeah.
This is the one they said where essentially he was protected from INS several times, which allowed him to do this.
Yeah, illegal immigrant arrested for killing woman. 9 ICE detainers declined. Uncle Sam's misguided children posted it.
You know, I do kind of wonder with stories like that, how the government officials, both state and federal, you know, your elected officials, you know, what do you say to your constituents, particularly the ones that you know, whose family gets impacted by an event like that?
Well, so ICE tried to deport him 9 times, but the California authorities declined to accept the deportation, which is kind of crazy. You know, you kind of wonder. He's a Salvadorian national with a criminal history, so he's been through the system 9 times, and the California government apparently just declined to deport him. That's crazy.
It's sad. I mean, the fact that you've because now it makes the argument seem, or you give it a face when you talk about these people about building a wall.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
You know, you're having somebody who's approaching this with, hey, this possibly could have prevented my loved one from being killed had you had this
so it's
measure
not,
in place.
It's not like he's a car thief, okay? So here's his rap sheet, okay? He's been convicted of kidnapping, drug possession, battery on a police officer, trespassing, burglary, and was diagnosed with psychosis in 2016. I mean, and he's not legal.
Sounds like a prime candidate for U.S. citizenship.
Or Congress or Senate. I mean, Jesus. These people are lost their fucking minds, man. I can't believe. So, I mean.
And all the things he did are like on the list of things that cartel members do, or, you know.
Oh, yeah.
It's on the list of things to do.
It's on their purview.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a part of the resume. Yeah, no, this is unbelievable. I mean, it's like even the mayor weighs in on it, saying how terrible this is. They're trying to get these people off the street, yet the state turns them back in. I mean, remember that girl in San Francisco that the guy just walked up to and shot her in the head? I mean, it's the same thing. It's like, you know, and in California wants to sit there and preach to us. Okay?
Oh, yeah.
You know, the rest of the world. And it's like,
they're the moral authority.
Yep, the moron authority. I guess you replace the L with an N because those people are stupid.
Moral. I mean, the way that words now can suddenly have their meanings changed.
Right.
You know, the thing that's bad now has become morally good.
Yeah. Well, this dude was 24 and he killed a 59-year-old woman. Oh man, that's just you get tired of seeing this shit in the news. I got to be honest with you. Yeah. I do. I'm sitting here and I'm going, wait a minute. So a judge who's protected, or even a governing body who's protected by armed guards, probably lives behind gated community walls and has security details, takes him everywhere. Turn a blind eye to an average citizen getting killed on the street with a violent predator like this. This just, I don't know. It just how is this even an issue? Well,
you look to the elected leadership there, and you know, there you have your answer. Because with special interests, you know, whatever special interest group that's out there that kind of caters to being sort of the Statue of Liberty for these illegal aliens. Hey,
right.
I'm gonna go over here and to this organization, and they're gonna protect me from the big bad government who doesn't want me here or wants to enforce these immigration laws.
Well, did you see this idiot? AOC. She was grilling the Wells Fargo executives.
I actually watched it
about funding children in cages.
Tuesday night I watched this.
My head exploded when I heard this. So what she's doing is she's basically using catastrophic language and not correctly saying what he was doing. They funded private jails and holding cells. because that's what banks do.
Yeah.
Banks fund these things.
Somebody came to me with a business plan.
Right.
Okay, so I'm a bank and I'm supposed to make money, and you've got this business and you need our money.
Right.
So what am I going to do? I'm going to show it to my analysts.
Sure.
Because my buddy Ray did stuff like this. Not he wasn't looking at jail business plans.
Right.
But he was looking at multi-million-dollar business plans and trying to figure out, hey, from a banking standpoint, how does our exposure look? Because he looks at all those things.
Sure.
The risks, the exposure. Am I going to make money?
And they have to follow a code, okay?
Yes.
There's a regulatory body that basically governs how you make loans. So this venture had met all the criteria. Yet she's saying, well, did you finance a company that puts children in
jail.
cages? In
cages. Yeah.
No, she said in cages children.
Yes.
And he was pretty patient with her, probably more patient than I would have been, because I would have said, ma'am, you're totally miscategorizing that. We don't cage children.
He was unflappable.
We harbor detainees,
right.
is what I would have said. We don't cage children. We harbor detainees. And I probably would have said that to get it on the record. But anyway, that's
because he's a CEO of a bank.
Right.
Does caging children fall under a purview of a bank? No. Does it fall under the purview of somebody who's borrowing money from the bank? Maybe. I don't know. Did you forget that I'm a banker?
Well,
I give people the money.
And she's trying to set the precedent so that the morality is determined by all companies involved.
Yes.
So the linen company, the catering company, the water utilities. So by her logic, you should go through and fill out some kind of pro forma that basically says we're not going to kill kittens, we're not going to beat up old ladies, we're not going to illegally park. It's the stupidest thing. It's the way she sits there and she's just all chirpy and smug about it. It's just like, really? I would probably leave the room and say, this is a complete waste of my time.
Well, her stream of logic when she got to the part about oil spills and how banks should basically fund
the cleanup.
The cleanup. I'm like, what part of I'm a bank do you not get?
Right. So the bank, in a weird way, funds cleanups because that's where the money comes from.
Yeah, usually. It has to.
But she's saying being financially responsible for, which is just stupid. It's like, really? So, it defies all logic. Her whole approach to things. And she gets such a huge buy. What gets me is, why does a freshman, is she a congressman?
Or
senator? Yeah,
freshman congressman.
So, okay, why do they get on these committees their first year in? Wasn't she a bartender before she got elected?
Yeah.
She really was just 2 steps shy of the stripper stage. Think about it, honestly, because she lives in free housing. For some reason, the sugar daddy gave her housing, right?
Yeah.
And then she gets elected into Congress because she's very popular in social media.
Bashes millionaires and then gets her first $1 million, I'm not going to say that she got millions of dollars.
Well, it's a $10 million outlay by Netflix to do the show. Whatever she gets is what she gets. But still, though, her
net worth went up somewhere
substantially, and it's almost like biting the hand that feeds you. It's like basically covering up the trail,
right,
that you just followed to El Dorado. You know what I mean? And I don't know. I just find the whole logic behind this whole keeping violent criminals in this country. 9 times ICE tried to get him out of here. And he was turned back. His paperwork was denied.
And how many stories are like this that you don't hear about?
Oh, hundreds of them for sure. You hear of these all these sex trafficking things being shut down. It's run by these are the kind of guys that enforce that shit. They're the ones that go out and do these things. They do that in their own country, free will. So they come over here. So why should they know any different?
Right.
They see that we don't enforce the law, so they continue to do what they do. And that's the one thing that to me is the second and third order effect of all of that action or non-action by not deporting them, is that we're basically telling them that it's okay to do what you're doing because there's no punishment.
Right.
None whatsoever.